again, it's me from the Welcome to Wonderland podcast. This Thanksgiving, make a statement with ZJZ Designs' brand new Thanksgiving Day prints. Whether you're hosting the family feast or just want to show your festive spirit, they've got the perfect design to make your holiday memorable. Introducing Tommy the Turkey. He's fun, he's festive, and he's the star of their latest collection. From playful tees to cozy long sleeves, Tommy will keep you looking stylish as you carve the turkey or sit back and enjoy the pie. And that's not all. Their Thanksgiving prints feature a variety of unique designs that capture the warmth and joy of the season, perfect for yourself or as a gift for a loved one. Shop now at zjzdesigns.com and bring a little extra cheer to your Thanksgiving.
The All About Nothing podcast may have language and content
that isn't appropriate for some.
Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome, Nothingers, to another episode of the All About Nothing podcast. This is episode number, Shorts episode 70, and we are less than a week out from the election. If you're watching this on YouTube or on Twitch, I am Barrick Gruber.
I am Zach King. We are 2 months and 1/8 days away from a regime change, right?
Something like that. That count is accurate enough for me.
Yeah, don't start. If you fraction up a month, I don't know if it's an 8th because January 6th. Whatever, man.
Right. Please subscribe and share the show. That's how we get new listeners. Also, if you could, please consider supporting the show financially by visiting our website and clicking on the support link. And if you can't do that, drop us a review, hit the 5 stars, give us a thumbs up, or leave a comment. All of that helps drive us higher up in all of these show ratings on these podcast platforms. As well, if you're watching us on YouTube or you just happen to stumble across, please subscribe to the show. You can hit the little notification bell and it'll tell you when we go live and when we drop a new episode.
And I didn't frost these tips. So go back to old episodes and see that Zach actually committed and had all blonde hair.
Not that old of episodes. Your
no,
hair
not even
grows
that old.
quick.
It does. And
your hair grows quick.
I'm trying to get rid of it so I don't have any more NSYNC vibes going on. Like Shelby at the Haunt was like, I see you're trying to bring frosted tips back. Good for you. And I said, time out. I wouldn't purposely do this.
How frosted do tips have to be, and or like what is the cutoff point on length when it's no longer tips?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's more aggressive than tips.
Yeah, like it's not even tips. It's not just the tip. It's the whole thing. I did the whole thing. Yeah,
the whole thing was done. And if like he said, go back to look at episodes in July, because that's, I think your coming out party for the blonde hair was, I guess it was the first recording at for the live episode
rooftop
that we did for the rooftop over there. Hendrix, thank you, because I wish my memory was better. I kept wanting to say
we're both tired going
that
like,
was.
We went there and met awesome people who, like the owner, John, that's his name. I don't remember his last name. I want to have him on. He was a fucking great guy.
Yeah. Also, let's see. The episode that we dropped this week was with Carl Smith, who was the organizer for the voter education project, which I would think would be in full swing right now with, I guess, as of this recording, 6 days till election. He was very interesting. His second half of his episode will drop on Monday, the day before the election.
And I'll listen to that one because that's the part I wasn't able to stay around for.
Zach had to take a leave of absence after our first hour of recording. I enjoyed the conversation with Carl, but and it's not awful getting 2 hours of episodes out of a recording. It certainly is appreciated when a guest wants to talk to us as long as they do. And
he had a lot of awesome things to say.
Yeah, people seem to have prior obligations. People seem to have a good time coming on our show. So, we appreciate them. We do have some, I have some guests planned for our election night or post-election night recap that we'll be doing next week, and we'll go live with that. it's I won't announce it just yet. I'll just say, stay tuned. I'll put out an announcement on our social media about
I'll
that.
say it is Pamela Anderson. Okay, it's not.
No, but Tommy Lee. Tommy Lee. I didn't get that right, did I?
No, it is Tommy Lee. He's just the worst one. We want Tommy Lee Jones. I'll tell you what, Squirt. Vote for Kamala Harris. All right.
So one thing I did want to bring up is that early voting across the country has, I think, as of this morning, we are the country nationwide. More than 50 million people have voted early. That is like a quarter of the number of people that voted in the 2020 election.
Will they hold off to tell us who they voted for?
The individuals or yeah. So
no, I'm talking about like who's winning. Like, all right,
yeah.
So early voting's in.
Yeah, there's no, most states don't actually allow for the voting of those early ballots or mail-in ballots or absentee ballots. They don't get to actually start counting those until the day of the election. Well, I take that back. I keep hearing that Pennsylvania. It'd save a ton of time. But I think part of the issue is that you wind up having
assholes burn your ballot boxes.
Yeah, that's happening. But I think part of the problem with starting to release like any early counts is that it would probably put both presidential campaigns into a tailspin. Like I think that they would just freak out.
And my problem is like I need to know to either start preparing for the resistance or preparing to take a deep breath and calming down a little bit.
Yeah. I still go back to this idea, and we'll talk about the early voting in South Carolina in a minute, but I still go back to this idea. First of all, polling is inaccurate. Polling is a snapshot in time of
For sure.
A very small sample of the public. And the polling that is done it's not only just, registered voters, but it's broken down into likely voters, registered voters versus likely voters, because those are two completely different groups. Registered voters, of course, includes likely voters, but registered voters doesn't include the people that register to the DMV and have zero intent of ever showing up.
Right.
They'll have an opinion on Facebook, but they won't show up for the election.
Those are the people who think voting is pointless.
Yeah. And I don't think that voting is pointless. I think, living in South Carolina, I think that it's possible to make a difference in, or at least give some idea of a message about, South Carolina being prepared to maybe change leadership. But Matt's campaign is not hard. I mean, Matt's campaign is not easy. It is extremely difficult. The amount of support that his opponent's campaign is getting from other elected Republicans is you don't see a lot of that when it comes to the ground level local politics with other Democrats. You see it with the candidates. You see it with the candidates supporting each other. But as far as like candidates that are already in office, or ones that have, basically, they're running their own campaign, but if they're already in office, it might just be me. I'm not speaking for every candidate, but it doesn't seem like there is the same level of support being offered to candidates that are running for their first time or for their second time for an office that is, in Matt's case, it's an open seat, and it could potentially be won by either of them. But I see seasoned politicians and state representatives and statewide representatives for other treasurer, whatever, that have come out in support of Matt's opponent, and I don't fault them for it. I think that there is a level of desperation to that, just because you don't normally see it, and to me it speaks that there might be some concern that Matt might be. We might be pulling this off. That Matt might see his name on the returns as having the higher number of votes.
I'd love to see it.
I would too. I'd love to see it for Bill Kemmler and Dr. Jamil Brooks, all of the candidates that they've had on their show.
Bill would probably get more votes if he wasn't an Eagles fan.
I want to visit something that happened on the last time that Matt was on the show. And I'm glad you brought up sports, Zach, because
I know exactly.
Matt and I made a bet that if the Falcons won, well, let's just say whichever team won both of the games in the season against each other, because the Falcons and Tampa Bay play twice, that if Tampa Bay won both games, I would adorn a Tampa Bay jersey. It'd have to be it would have to be a Gronkowski jersey. I'd have to go back and get a Gronkowski jersey.
Oh, dude, you wouldn't get a Brady one? Why?
Gronk
eats rocks. I'm pretty sure you can.
I've never been a huge Tom Brady. I won't discount his talent, but
it's the best quarterback that's ever existed.
Yeah, I think
outside of the one true God, Josh Allen.
Josh Allen has been.
You have fucked my whole season by taking Josh Allen again, by the way.
Josh Allen
and I have Patrick Mahomes, and you fucked my season. It's not even just a talent thing. Josh Allen's better than Patrick Mahomes. I'll tell you that all day long. But it was the mojo, because I have Amari Cooper, who's now a Buffalo Bill.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Barrett.
I'm sorry.
Unless you want to trade. I just want my mojo.
I'm gonna keep Josh Allen. Son
of a bitch.
I'm not saying that there can't be some sort of obviously my season.
I'll give you Njoku, and Njoku's a great tight end. Just got me 16 points. Njoku and Patty Mahomes. If you just give me Josh Allen back.
Dang. That's an interesting. You know what? We'll discuss that one. We'll discuss that one outside of the recording, because I don't need anybody from our league seeing this and being like, stuff was going on. I mean,
no, that is perfectly on the up and up. You're allowed to make trades.
You are correct, and we don't play with that guy anymore.
Yeah, have you seen the league? You're absolutely allowed to make trades. Get the fuck out of here.
Exactly. So just to recap, so Matt and I made a bet, and that bet included that if the Falcons won, he would adorn a Falcons jersey, and after the election, he would have to change his profile picture until the end of the season. And if the Bucks won both games, then I would change my profile picture for the rest of the season. And as of this weekend, the Falcons held on to their second victory, which means that Mr. Matt Villardo, Matt V.
Oh my God, make him get your quarterback's jersey because he sucks.
I'm not making anybody buy a jersey. I will pick the appropriate jersry.
No, who's your quarterback? He has to get that guy.
Kirk Cousins. Yeah, but I'm not going to make some. I'm not prepared to buy a Kirk Cousins jersey at this point. I'm not 100% in. Oh, all right, fair enough.
To be fair, you didn't make me buy one when I lost this bet.
Yeah, you wore the Matt Ryan jersey, and then Matt Ryan left.
Matty Ice is the vanilla envelope of quarterbacks. Too.
I mean, he'll get Hall of Fame for the Falcons. He'll be in that Falcons Hall of Fame.
He won a lot, but listen. Boston College needs to put a statue of him out there along with Luke Kuechly.
I don't disagree. And the high school that centered around the Goldbergs, because Matty Ice went to the Goldbergs high school.
Oh,
if you
really?
ever watched that show, yeah. In fact,
they did.
Yeah, they had Matt Ryan. They had Matt Ryan on the show one time.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. So
I was going to tell you a cool voter story, by the way.
Please.
Just because we always talk about...
That is our segue back into the topic.
Yeah, but we're not always like staunchly... Good ideas are good ideas and good people are good people. If they happen to be Republican, they will get my vote.
Yeah.
I ran into an individual I work with who was 20 plus years with Richland County, and he wanted to meet today. He's a bit higher up than I am, and I was like, why? And he was just to introduce himself, and so like we started talking, and I was like, we have a mutual friend, Leon Lott.
Oh,
I was like, yeah, we played softball together, and then we had him. I interviewed him, all this stuff, and he just gushed. He was like, that is one of the best men I know.
Yeah.
And he goes, I want him to come where I live in South Carolina and be the sheriff over there. And he goes, well, Lexington will never elect a Democrat. And he goes, let me tell you this, Zach. He goes, I'm a lifelong Republican, but in 95, when he first came up, I voted for him, and I voted for Democratic. And I was like, he's on the same page. He goes, if it's a good person, it's a good idea. I was like,
yeah.
I said, I'm a Democrat, but good ideas and good people are what it's about. The lines don't matter. And so it was someone that's a Republican that people just think if you're a Democrat, you hate Republicans. It's a vehement thing. It's genuinely not. And it was an awesome example of meeting someone today that thought the same way I thought. I will cross that line when someone else is there to represent being good ideas or good people. Because
in the end, I don't vote on party line. I vote for the person that I believe is going to carry forward the progress or carry on with the issues that I think are important, as long as, you know, we have the same ideas on those issues. It's not just a partisan. Democrats are the only ones that can get things done. You know, we're especially at a local level. Like, you know, for the most part, I think that's why, you know, for town positions, if it's county council or, you know, like I would fully support them being nonpartisan position. Like I don't need to know whether you're a Democrat or Republican to be the mayor of West Columbia. I don't know what Tim Miles's political affiliation is or what party he belongs to. I have zero idea on that. And I don't need to know. I just know that if I lived in the town of West Columbia, that Tim Miles probably would have my vote, because I think that he's done well as the mayor, and he has worked very well with the other council members that have been elected to the seats there. So, you know, it's not always about party affiliation. If it's a good person, it's a good person. You know, I also recognize that in some cases it's just, you know, good to have the affiliation, that there is a benefit to being a Democrat in Richland County or a Republican in Lexington County. You know, I can't fault anybody for that.
Well, and the scales will tip. I'm a Democrat because I do believe the majority of Democrats that I come across have those better ideas, are the kind of people I want to associate with and have lead my community.
Yeah. No, I absolutely,
just
absolutely agree.
Yeah. It's not to say there's things about Republicans that I enjoy, but I also believe that there are times where they would get rid of minimum wage if they could.
Yep.
That they would, you know, get rid of Medicare, and they would privatize it and give it to insurance companies. That they're out to make a profit and not tax the rich. There's just so much of that shit.
Yeah. Totally agree. So real quick, we're not going to make this episode very long because this is sort of one of those shorts episodes. I do want to share, because I think this is kind of exciting. South Carolina, we have almost seen, and this may not even be the right screen. It isn't. This is what I do. I find some way to muck it up. Let me see. Where's my...
What's your spreadsheet say, sir?
Here we go. This is the one that I wanted to show. So, as you can see, the voting totals here for South Carolina as of yesterday's close. So these came out this morning. South Carolina is on the verge of hitting 1 million early voters. And unless for some reason... How big of
that does it blow out the past record?
So I would have to go back and look, and maybe when we record next week, I'll have that information. Of course, we'll be past the election, so it won't be important. I'll just say we are probably somewhere in the 1/3 to maybe 1/2 of voters from 2022. I think we're probably upwards. We're past the third mark on the 2020 election. Because there's only 3.5 million voters in South Carolina, so to be
It's
approaching
freaking awesome.
1 million,
Yeah,
it's huge. Here in Lexington County, the numbers aren't as high, which I think is, we've seen 54,000 people vote in Lexington County. That isn't as high as York County. York County is almost a 70. And I just think that these numbers
coming from this has got to be exponential.
Yeah. I think that it is. I think that it is indicative of a good turnout for the election, and regardless of how people vote, I just want them to vote. That's ultimately that's the biggest thing to me is people vote. Everyone turn out, do your civic duty, and vote.
I also want to mention this real quick, and we'll talk about it on the next episode because this just reminded me of it. Sorry, Barrett. How hard Donald Trump stepped on his own balls or his campaign, getting Tony Hinchcliffe to run your fucking one of your rallies.
See, and let me just say this about Tony Hinchcliffe. I think Tony Hinchcliffe is not an unfunny comedian. He's very
funny. You asked a dog to be a dog or a dog to be a cat. Like, what did you expect him to do?
I think the fault of the Trump campaign is the fact that they had him come in there and he did what he does. He's just that type of comedian. I think the fact that Trump's campaign loaded his monologue into the teleprompters and only said he couldn't call Kamala Harris the C word,
and he didn't.
No, he didn't. He didn't do that joke.
He just took it on to the Puerto Ricans.
Everything that he said was approved by Donald Trump's campaign. And the fact that Donald Trump, and it's too late now, but the fact that Donald Trump didn't come out and say anything about, like, his campaign came out and, tried to distance themselves from it. But Donald Trump himself should have come out and said something. But I guarantee you, Donald Trump thought it was funny because he thought it was true. Donald Trump has had an issue with Puerto Rico for decades. He's never had a golf resort built there. He doesn't have a hotel in Puerto Rico. And I don't know if that's because of things that have occurred in the government with Puerto Rico not wanting Donald Trump there. But ultimately, I think that what the comedian said is a reflection of probably what Donald Trump actually thinks about Puerto Ricans.
And make no bones about it, Donald Trump does not have a funny bone in his fucking body. He just took it as face value. Like, that's true. All of that stuff is true.
Islands float?
I don't know. Is it really garbage? It's actually garbage? Like,
is that why they have earthquakes daily, is because of the shifting garbage?
I mean, dude, that was just like, how fucking stupid can you be? He's a roast comedian. If you've ever watched Kill Tony, he has contestants that he destroys.
Yeah.
That is all he does, and he's great at it, and he just bodied half of your voter, or whatever you want to call the quantity
voters.
of it.
Yeah, I think he
basically an entire state.
Successfully handed Pennsylvania to Kamala Harris. That's potentially 500,000 people, registered Puerto Rican registered voters.
The whole country of Puerto Rico can vote.
The state or the territory. Yeah,
territory. It's a country. Yeah. Puerto Rico is its own. Like, it's part of the U.S. It's a territory. So I'm going to call Puerto Rico their country because they are. But not only that, the Puerto Ricans who live here, and they're proud. You see their flag hanging from the rearview mirrors.
Yeah, so of course.
I love Puerto Ricans. Claudio Sanchez, Puerto Rican. Love it. It's just the dumbest move somebody could have made.
Yeah.
He's literally playing checkers, and the chess rules apply.
Yeah. It's, I don't think Donald Trump wants to be president. I think he just wants to get out of going to jail.
I think coked up Don Jr. loves fucking Kill Tony and did not take it easy on the bumps before deciding that was a great idea.
I suspect that is probably true. That is probably true. Well,
no, Dad, you should totally get him.
I think the message from Zach and I is that between now and Election Day, vote early. If you're not going to vote early, then vote on Election Day and make sure you have a plan for voting on Election Day, because I think the temperatures are going to be going up across the country, and depending on how the election turns out, be prepared. I don't know what for, but just be prepared. Just stay safe.
And we can only alter the weather so much.
I'll just say this one last thing. If you haven't seen it yet, on YouTube, Jordan Klepper did a special where he took some celebrities to some Trump rallies, and then he took Trump rally Tony, or whatever his name is, Tom, and took him to a Kamala Harris rally, and it was very entertaining, but it was interesting to see that where the Trump, he'd been to 93 or 94 Trump rallies previously, but it was interesting to see the effect that going to a Harris campaign rally had on him, which was, this isn't what I've heard. This is obviously high energy. This is obviously a packed arena.
No one said the N-word once.
Yeah. Nobody's leaving early. So it was interesting to see. And Jordan Klepper's a comedic genius. Like, he's extremely quick. I don't know how much of that was scripted, but it played very well. John Lennon was fantastic. Just fantastic.
Well, I'll close this out, Barrett. In case I don't see you. Good evening. God damn it, I messed it up already.
Yeah, so I'll do the regular close. That's going to do it for special episode number 70. Links to past episodes, podcast platforms, merchandise, social media are available on your webpage, theallaboutnothing.com. And if you think our financial model of giving away free content and entertainment is silly and you're in the giving mood, why not become an official Nothing? Or by supporting the show monthly, members get early access to this episode as well as exclusive content, or you can make one-time donation through the same link. If you'd like to be a part of the show, you can... What, because I didn't fuck that up?
You didn't. And you sound like the guy at the end of this pill may cause diarrhea, dick blood, fucking anal warts.
If you'd like to be a part of the show, you can call and leave us a message, 803-672-0533, or you can email the show at theallaboutnothing.com, or you can join our Discord server. Links available at theallaboutnothing.com. That is going to do it for me and Zach. Thank you very much.
Thank you for watching the All About Nothing podcast. I hope you come back and listen to us. We're on Twitch, and we are on YouTube and Facebook, and
you all stay safe. Have a great week, and...
keep your hands to yourself, please.
The All About Nothing podcast is produced and engineered by me, Barrick Gruber. Thanks to Cake for our intro music, Sick of You. You can follow everything Cake the band at cakemusic.com. Thanks to Muff the producer for our outro music. You can follow Muff on Instagram at Muff the producer. I am Barrick Gruber. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Barrick Gruber, or visit my Linktree /Barrick Gruber. Want to support the show? Visit our webpage, theallaboutnothing.com, and become a member. There are several tiers available, including memberships that give you early access to episodes as well as exclusive content. Visit theallaboutnothing.com. To find links to our social media, merchandise, and past episodes, visit theallaboutnothing.com. If you'd like to be heard on the show, you can call and leave us a message. Dial 803-672-0533. If the time between these episodes is more than you can handle, check out our partner podcast. Zach and I host What the Pod Was That with Carrie Simmons. Visit whatthepodwasthat.com for links and details. Me takes a deep dive down the rabbit hole in episodes of Welcome to Wonderland. Available on all the podcast platforms. Visit WTWLpod.com for details. As well, you can listen to the political and social conversation between Dr. Jamela Brooks and Bill Kimmler on Black, White, and Blue in the South, available wherever you listen to podcasts. Please subscribe and share this show. If you're on YouTube, please like and hit the notification bell. Thank you for listening. The preceding podcast is a product of Big Media and copyright 2024, all rights reserved.